When confronted by the police, Brian denied any involvement, claiming he had only called to talk to her. But his erratic behavior and shaky alibi made him a prime suspect. Could this be the break the case needed, or was Brian just a convenient scapegoat for something much more twisted? As investigators dug into Brian's past, they uncovered a shocking revelation. Brian had been involved in a similar case years ago, in another town. A young woman had gone missing under eerily similar circumstances, and though Brian had been questioned, he was never charged. This discovery cast a dark shadow over the investigation. Was Brian a repeat offender, or was this merely a tragic coincidence? And if he was guilty, why had Emily become his latest victim? The town held its breath as the police closed in on their suspect. With mounting evidence, Brian was arrested and brought in for questioning. But just as it seemed the case would be solved, Brian dropped a bombshell. He admitted to having followed Emily on the night she disappeared, but not to harm her. According to him, she had been meeting someone else, a man he couldn't identify. Brian's confession added another layer of mystery. If he wasn't the one who had taken Emily, then who was? And more importantly, was Emily still alive? The search continued, and just when hope was fading, a shocking discovery was made in the basement of an old, abandoned farmhouse on the outskirts of town. Hidden behind a false wall was a small, windowless room. Inside, investigators found clothing, photographs, and personal items belonging to Emily. The discovery sent chills down the spines of everyone in town. Who had built this room? And why? The clues inside pointed to a disturbing plan that had been in the works for far longer than anyone had imagined. As investigators pieced together the evidence, they were led to a shocking conclusion. The mastermind behind Emily's disappearance was not a deranged stalker or a spurned lover, but someone much closer to home, her husband, Derek. It turned out that Derek had been planning Emily's disappearance for months. Their marriage had been falling apart, and with a life insurance policy hanging over their heads, Derek saw an opportunity to rid himself of his wife while making a fortune. But what he hadn't counted on was the tenacity of those who loved her. Realizing the net was closing in, Derek fled, setting off a nationwide manhunt. His picture was plastered across every news channel, and the small town of Colston became the epicenter of one of the biggest criminal investigations in recent history. As the authorities raced to capture Derek, the town watched in horror. But one question still remained. Where was Emily? Had Derek hidden her somewhere, or was the truth far more tragic? After weeks of searching, the authorities finally caught up with Derek. Cornered in a remote cabin, he attempted to flee but was quickly apprehended. As he was led away in handcuffs, Derek maintained his innocence, claiming that Emily had orchestrated her own disappearance to frame him. But when the investigators confronted him with the evidence from the hidden room and his tangled web of lies, Derek's facade crumbled. And with it came the horrifying truth. In a chilling confession, Derek finally revealed what had happened to Emily. He had taken her to the hidden room, where he planned to keep her until he could stage her accidental death. But something went wrong. Emily had tried to escape, and in a fit of rage, Derek had killed her. Her body was found buried in a shallow grave near the farmhouse, bringing a heartbreaking end to the months of uncertainty. The town of Colston was left reeling, forever changed by the revelation that one of their own had been hiding such darkness. Curious about what really happened to Emily Ryder? Dive deeper into the chilling mysteries and shocking twists by following CuriousCasts for more thrilling true crime stories like this one. Stay tuned for our latest videos on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook as we unravel the most haunting tales that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Don't miss out. Subscribe, like, and share with fellow true crime enthusiasts. The truth is always stranger than fiction at CuriousCasts.